Nothing can happen in these books to make me forget about this. I hate them. Hello and welcome to today's video. I just wanted to pop in and say that this isn't my most positive reading vlog. There is a book in this video that I really do love, but for the most part, I'm complaining a lot. So just wanted to give a heads up because I know I'm not always in the mood for that. So yeah, just wanted to give a warning, but regardless, if you stick around, I hope you enjoy. Ignore the cat meowing, but this man just called her little bunny.
Charles hates it.
Me too. Okay, she had rabbit pajamas on, so I guess that makes a little more sense, but... Hello, besties. It is time to give my first update of the first book for this reading vlog. Zodiac Academy, The Awakening. This is book one of a very big series, a very anticipated series for me, and I am scared, but I'm also excited. And I'm about 4 chapters in, well, halfway through chapter 4, so I figured I should give y'all my initial thoughts. So let me give y'all a brief synopsis of, this series and what has happened in these first few chapters. We have 2 girl main characters. They are sisters and twins, and they grew up in the foster care system because their parents died in a fire, and they just recently turned 18 and escaped the bad family that they were with, and they're trying to make it on their own. And now some guy showed up being like, hey, you're magical, you're fae, and you're coming with me. That's not a spoiler. It's all in the first few chapters. It's all in the back of the book. And they get taken to Zodiac Academy. I think that's where I'll leave it for now. I know there's so much more to come, especially with this series being as big as it is. Actually, one thing I will mention, they are in this world of Solaria. This is one of the worst maps I've ever seen. I don't know, it's giving like Pixie Hollow or Club Penguin map when you were on your family computer in like 2011. But yeah, we're in Solaria, and the 2 main girls, Darcy and Tori, are just now finding out that they are really the daughters of the last king and queen in this world. And actually the last line I read was so cringy. They just found that information out, and I think it was Darcy that responded like, so does that mean we're like princesses? This book is super cringe, but I don't mind. I love a cringy book. It's giving Wattpad. I'm not sure how long I will love this cringy, not so great writing, but I'm just trying to have fun with it. We've also been introduced to definitely a male love interest. It's very obvious by the way he is described. Oh, and something I should have mentioned is this is obviously a fantasy book, but it is fae fantasy and like changelings, but not in the sense of like cute little elves, but ripped abs kind of fae. So just something to keep in mind. I personally like both, but I feel like that's good information to know. This series is on KU, so I've been reading it on my Kindle. I am 53 pages in. It says I'm 12% in, which I don't know, I thought this book was bigger, but yeah, I'm just gonna keep reading and I will let y'all know what I think. This exact reason is why I need a Kindle stand so I can go hands-free to pet 2 pets at once while also reading. Alright, hello and good morning. I started off my day with reading in bed and drinking a pumpkin cream cold foam matcha. I just wanted to update y'all with my current status and my thoughts, and I'm also going to be switching to a new book, so just wanted to share all the things. I am currently on page 129, which is 30% on my Kindle, and this is what it's looking like with the physical book. I filmed me getting this Kindle stand for a video I ended up scrapping, but it's new and I'm really enjoying it because the one I had just kind of hooked onto like your headboard or something like that. Whereas this one I can use like in the living room and everything. Obviously, this is not a need, it was just a want. And this actually stemmed from me losing half of my like page turner clicker combo. I genuinely flipped our entire house upside down looking for it. So I ended up having to buy a new one. I have taken a lot of notes on this book so far, so let me refer to them as I tell y'all what's been going on. I got introduced to the 4 heirs and I hate all of them. They're all being weird, gross bullies and they are hazing our main characters, and it is a very tough read, I'm not gonna lie. If I had just picked this book up and I hadn't heard so much about it, would easily DNF because like, what are we doing? And I'm pretty sure I know it's going to get worse. So that's just great. Literally half of my notes, actually more than half, is just me ranting about how much I hate like every individual we've been introduced to. And then the other half is me complaining about how this book was written and how cringy it is. So all that to say, I'm not having the best time, but I know not a lot of people enjoyed this first book and they love the series as a whole, so I'm just pushing through. I'm expecting this to be a 3 stars or lower. Now, on a very, very different note, I am going to be picking up a book I started a few weeks ago. Like I said, very different, but it is So You Want to Talk About Race. Author is Ijoma Oluo. I'm going to get better at pronouncing that. But I picked this up a few weeks ago while I was driving home from a road trip, and I really enjoyed this. I'm only 5 chapters in, which is page 70. On that trip that I was driving back from, I picked this up from a Half Price Books. And I was like, let's just dive right in. So I'm listening to it through Libby, and it says I have 5 hours left. But with the speed I'm listening to it on, I think it'll only be 3 more hours. And as much as I would love to sit and read here all day, like, that cannot happen. It is a Sunday. I have so many chores to do, so I'm going to pick this back up and try and finish it. If you watched my latest video, which was that reset, you might have briefly heard me talk about this. I was a little bit dramatic by calling it this quarter life crisis that I feel like I'm going through, but it's really just, I have decided I'm picking book after book written by a white author that everyone else has talked about and has read, and I would like to change that and diversify my reads. And I have started that process for sure earlier this year. I read You're the Only One I've Told, the stories behind abortion, and I read like more nonfiction, Everything is Tuberculosis, Tuesdays with Maury, and I picked up a few trans-specific books from the Trans Rights Readathon, but like that is still bare minimum, barely doing anything. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm reading a book by a white author that y'all have heard about before, and I would love to change that. So yeah, that is a priority for me. I encourage you to do the same. I am going to set this down, pick this up, do a lot of chores, and I will talk to y'all here in a bit. I'm gonna give y'all a full update later, but just right now, I need to tell you that I am currently hating this book. I'm hating where I'm at. I stopped reading last night, mid-chapter on page 155. I'm in Darcy's point of view, and she is in the forest with these disgusting, gross men. I think the scene is only going to get worse, so I'm going to read it on camera and try not to throw up. The 4 guys that were just in that scene are irredeemable for me. Like, nothing can happen in these books to make me forget about this. I hate them, and I hope I'm never supposed to like them, because I hate them all. I have brought in Zodiac Academy #1 fan, Elizabeth, and she's also my bestie, and she's here to convince me and you, the viewers at home, why we should read this series when the book is terrible. Book 1, I should say.
Terrible.
Terrible. 1 star. 2.
My advice to you, you don't like this book at all. Like, do you see any potential?
Okay. I like our 2 main girl characters.
Oh yeah, that's good, 'cause that's what the series is about.
Sassy. I like the world.
Yeah.
Like, as cringe as Zodiac Academy is, I like...
It's supposed to be like escapism because it's cringy. Like, do you not feel like the cringe stuff is laughable?
It is.
Okay, good.
Bae.
Bae. My bae is in charge.
Okay, but in a book, I look for romance. And the romances, potential romance interests, love interests, men, are the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. Very valid point at this point.
No, forever. They can never take back what they did here.
Right. So a 12-book series, like, you gotta buckle up, you know, you're gonna have a lot.
But at least...
But there's also a lot of room for growth in every character.
But they could be decent people and not bullies.
I think, okay. She's making this really hard, Your Honor. Help. The only thing I can say is that, like, it's worth it to keep going. Like, where I'm at now, like, you see where I'm at now, and you see how much I love the characters, and I love the found family in it.
Okay.
Found family, yeah. The found family is, like, unmatched, I think. Like, one of the best found families ever. And it's just one of those things that, like, kind of sneak up on you. Like, it's very plot driven, and you're very focused on Tori and Darcy.
Okay.
And then out of nowhere, like, other things develop, and there's growth, and you just, like, become really, like, an overwhelming sense of pride and joy for, like, the family. But you don't know the family yet. And I felt the same as you at this book. I don't think I hated it as much as you did. But I remember thinking, I don't see like how there's ever going to be a romance. Like, I don't understand.
Or they can't even have nice friendships right now because everyone is so mean.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true. But that's what makes their relationship, like, I think that's what the authors were intending to do. I mean, obviously I don't know their intentions, but I feel like they were trying to show you how much Tori and Darcy really depend on each other, and how like that's their truest friendship and their deepest friendship, and that nothing else matters.
Well, because no one's even being slightly nice.
Yeah. Yeah, not even in the slightest, no one. And that's exactly how you're supposed to feel, I fear.
Great.
I'm sorry, that really didn't plead my case at all.
That's good, that's good. So at what point do you think, okay, you've read the first 2 books, if you don't like it now, then you won't end up enjoying it?
I feel like up until book 3, I was like, okay, I understand, but it was like good, it was still entertaining. But I think up until book 3, like if you still are like really hating it, then like, no. But that would break my heart because book 4 is insane.
What book are you on?
6. I just finished 6 last night.
Okay. This was really helpful. I will continue the series for you, my best friend Elizabeth.
I know that's right.
Also, check out her channel. It'll be linked in the description. Booked with Elizabeth.
That's me.
Okay, bye. Hello, I've been meaning to make this update for days. I'm so sorry. We must talk about the book that I have finished and the book I'm still trudging through. So, this first, the 5-star first, this is So You Want to Talk About Race by Ijoma Oluo, which I believe I told y'all. I started this on a road trip a few weeks back and decided to wrap it up. And I did so while cooking, which I also showed y'all a bit of that. I hope you found that somewhat interesting. But more importantly, this book, it was amazing. 5 stars. I learned so much. I think this should be required reading for schools and children and for adults, so add this to your TBR. Also, I just realized I never introduced this book. I just thought y'all would understand from the title, but I'm gonna go ahead and read y'all the back of the book. It says, widespread reporting on aspects of white supremacy, from police brutality to the mass incarceration of Black Americans, has put a media spotlight on racism in our society. Still, it's a difficult subject to talk about. How do you tell your roommate his jokes are racist? Why did your sister-in-law take umbrage? I think that's how you say that word. Why did your sister-in-law take umbrage when you asked to touch her hair? And how do you make it right? How do you explain white privilege to your white privileged friend? In So You Want to Talk About Race, Ijoma Oluo guides readers of all races through subjects ranging from intersectionality and affirmative action to model minorities, in an attempt to make the seemingly impossible possible. Honest conversations about race and racism and how they infect almost every aspect of American life. Yeah, I just can't say enough good things about this. I have already looked up this author and listened to like YouTube stuff by her. I'm definitely interested in her other books, so give this a shot. On a much different note, y'all know that I have been reading the first book in the Zodiac Academy series. I even brought in my best friend to try and make things better, keep me going. I don't really know, but love you, Elizabeth. Anyways, as a update on my progress, this is what it is looking like. I'm on page 310 of 420 pages, and my Kindle says I only have 3 hours left, so I am going to try and knock this out tonight. It's currently 7:45, so I think that is doable. I'm also hoping things pick up and I'll just want to read to see what happens at the end. I actually do have good news. This has just barely started to grow on me, and it is probably only because I have a bad memory and I want to be enjoying this book, so I'm trying to let certain things go. But our two main characters, Tori, Darcy, they just had a night out and they were at the bars, and you know, maybe they were flirting with characters I previously hated, and I didn't hate that they were flirting with them. So I'm not rooting for them yet, but I can understand that this is what's going on. I think this is a bully romance and I just have to deal with it. I definitely have a few questions I want answers to. One being, they've had a anonymous person texting them, which this person seems to be on their side. And I'm just really curious to who it is, because I'm sure it's someone we know. Yeah, I want that reveal. Also, so we know they're fae, but we don't know their order, which is like if they're a siren, vampire, wolf, Pegasus, or anything like that. That sounds so crazy, but I really want to know. And there's a few other characters I don't know what they are and I really want to know, but I'm not sure I'm gonna get those answers in this book. Also, last thing I'll say is they have a social media in this world and their posts are so funny, and not in the funny way that is like witty or anything, but it's so ridiculous, and every user uses hashtags that are just insane, and it's just cracking me up. So at least there's some comedic relief. Okay, I need to get to reading. Let's go finish this for the next 3 hours. Hello besties, we did it. We finally made it through Zodiac Academy and to the end of this video, so let's talk. I've already wrapped up my feelings on So You Want to Talk About Race. As y'all know, 5 stars, highly recommend. So I'm not going to be talking about that. I'm just going to be talking about this, which I know I only read like 2 books in this video. I hope that's okay. I've heard other booktubers talk about this, but it just feels like there's a pressure to read multiple books in one video, and I'm trying to let go of that. So I feel like y'all already know where I stand with this, but let's talk about it. If you are looking for a book with good writing, no cringe, developed characters, good politics, anything along those lines, this isn't the book for you. But if you know that those aren't non-negotiables for you and you've heard about how good this series is, you want to give it a shot, then I would say go for it. Just go in with like the lowest expectations possible and you'll probably enjoy it more than you think. As y'all clearly saw, I was so harsh in this reading vlog, I'm so sorry, but I had so many issues with the way certain characters were treating others, and it was a tough read for me. There are no trigger warnings listed in the beginning of my indie copy, and I don't know if that's because they don't categorize these things as like that bad. You know, it's bullying, but as a sensitive girly, it got to me. I had to skim some parts because I was just over it. I would say it was like 80% bullying, 20% world building and some fun, but really not a lot. I am going to give this book 2 stars. I believe in my last update I was telling y'all I was somewhat warming up to it, and I'm not gonna go into specifics, but let's just say the ending was certainly a choice. But I have went ahead and started the next book, Ruthless Fae. Like I told y'all, and I promised my bestie, I would read the first 2 books before making any final decisions. I'm only like 30 pages in, so I don't really have anything to say other than the fact that I'm still equally as pissed off. Oh, very interesting. I just realized what character this is probably gonna follow. Great. Can't wait. But yeah, that is all. Once again, I hope y'all enjoyed this video despite me complaining like the whole time. I'm about to start a new reading vlog, so hopefully I have better luck there. But yes, that is all for today. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye guys.